In a small village, nestled between rolling hills and meandering streams, there was a vibrant tree that stood at the center of town. This tree, ancient and wise, was beloved by all. Its branches spread wide, offering shade to children playing below, while its blossoms filled the air with a sweet, intoxicating fragrance each spring. The villagers often gathered around this tree, sharing stories, laughter, and dreams. But unbeknownst to them, this tree was not just a symbol of life and joy. It was a testament to resilience, faith, and the promise of God's unwavering love. Not far from the village lived a woman named Miriam. Miriam was known for her gentle spirit and kind heart. However, her life had been marked by heartache and loss. Widowed at a young age, she spent her days alone, tending to her small garden and caring for her elderly mother. Though she filled her home with flowers, her heart felt barren, much like the unforgiving soil in a drought. Many times, she watched others flourish, families laughing under the grand tree, children chasing each other around its trunk, while she quietly nurtured her pain. One summer day, as the sun poured its golden warmth over the village, Miriam's mother grew gravely ill. The once vibrant woman, who had shared her laughter and wisdom, became a shadow of herself. As Miriam knelt by her bedside, tears streaming down her face, she felt a familiar ache settle in her heart. "Why, Lord?" she cried, clutching her mother's frail hand. "Why do I feel so alone in this struggle?" Her questions hung heavy in the air. Silence, as thick as the shadows, enveloped the room. Yet, deep within her spirit, a gentle whisper began to rise, a memory from the scriptures she had once cherished. Those words, like seeds planted in the fertile soil of her heart, came forth, "Cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you." 1 Peter 5:7. In that moment, she allowed those words to sink deep into her soul. Miriam rose and stepped outside, feeling the weight of her burdens ease just a bit. The village was alive, the tree standing proud against the clear sky. Something about its resilience inspired her. Years of storms and droughts had tried to rob it of its glory, yet there it stood, steady, unwavering, producing fruit season after season. She stumbled upon an elderly man, Isaac, sitting at the foot of the tree, a knowing smile resting on his weathered face. "Miriam," he greeted her, his voice warm and rich with the wisdom of the ages. "Come, sit with me and share your heart." She hesitated, but his gentle nod encouraged her. As she settled beside him, she felt an unexpected comfort. "I feel lost, Isaac," she confessed, her voice trembling. "Taking care of my mother has become a burden. I pray, but it feels as if my prayers bounce off the walls and back to me." Isaac chuckled softly. "Ah, my dear, can you hear the whispers of that tree? It too has faced its share of storms. But do you see how it leans into the wind? That's faith. It teaches us to stand strong amid the tempests." Miriam looked up at the tree, its branches swaying gracefully in the gentle breeze. "But how do I find that strength, Isaac? My heart aches, and my faith feels so fragile." "Sometimes," Isaac continued, "the greatest strength emerges from our weakest moments. We are not alone, you know. God walks with us through every heartache, every tear we shed. He sees you, Miriam, and he cares deeply for you." With newfound determination, Miriam returned home and knelt by her mother's bedside again. But this time, instead of focusing on her despair, she lifted her heart in prayer, simple words drenched in hope. "Lord, I cast my cares upon you. Teach me to lean on your strength." The days that followed were not easy. Her mother's health ebbed and flowed like the tide, but as Miriam prayed and leaned into her faith, she started noticing small miracles. The sun would rise each morning, casting warm rays upon her small garden. The flowers began to bloom, beautiful, vibrant colors filling the once dull space. In caring for them, she found a sliver of joy amidst the struggle. One afternoon, as she watered her plants, she saw the village gather beneath the tree again. Children dashed about, their laughter ringing like a melody. An idea sparked in her heart. With a spark of enthusiasm, she joined the villagers, offering to share her floral creations. That evening, with her flowers strewn about the base of the tree, the fateful gathering turned into something beautiful. Miriam watched as people picked flowers, sharing stories, and crafting little bouquets for one another. In that moment, something beautiful blossomed within her too. She realized that her heart was beginning to heal. Just as the tree stood resilient, she too could stand against adversity. As weeks passed, life continued to follow its path. Miriam's mother passed peacefully, her spirit free, and while grief swept over Miriam like a storm, the lessons from that ancient tree lingered within her. She remembered Isaac's words and felt a warm embrace from the divine, reminding her that it was okay to grieve, but also to celebrate life, beauty, and the love shared in vibrant moments. Even in her mourning, Miriam found ways to serve others in her community. She began to organize floral workshops under the tree, where laughter and sharing became the roots of connection. The villagers formed a bond thicker than blood, united by love, loss, and the faith that carried them through their trials. One day, as she worked to arrange flowers for another gathering, Isaac approached her. Without saying a word, he handed her a small journal, its pages worn and yellowed. "In this journal," he explained, "I penned the stories of my life, the joys, the heartaches, and the lessons learned. I hope that you will find it a treasure to hold as you navigate your journey." Miriam accepted the gift, with gratitude swelling in her heart. "Thank you, Isaac. Your wisdom and kindness have been my lifeline." She opened the journal, each page a testament to the resilient spirit of life. And as she read over the words, she encountered stories of faith like the mustard seed, reminding her that even the tiniest spark of belief could move mountains. Years drifted by. The village prospered, and the tree remained a centerpiece of love and laughter. Miriam grew into a pillar of the community, embodying resilience and embodying the spirit of faith she had so longed to grasp. The message of God's unwavering love became evident through her actions. One summer evening, beneath the tree that had witnessed her transformation, Miriam stood amidst the villagers, gathered once more with an air of celebration. They shared their experiences, chronicling stories of faith blossoming in adversity. With gratitude in her heart, she said, "Just as this tree stands tall, bear witness to storms, and still bloom, so too do we have the power to find growth even in our darkest moments." As the crowd erupted in applause, a sense of belonging and love washed over Miriam. The pain she once knew faded, transformed into a powerful testimony, an acknowledgement of God's boundless grace. Before long, she realized an even deeper truth. Every heartache had a purpose, each tear shed connected her to others, and through it all, God remained steadfast. The fractures in her heart allowed room for compassion, and her vulnerabilities stitched tales of empathy in the fabric of their community. As she closed her eyes, Raising her hands to the heavens, she offered a prayer, a heartfelt tribute to the lessons learned, the grace received, and the love that enveloped her soul. Father, thank you for the journey, for every storm that has led me to this moment. I pray that by your grace we may continue to blossom, just like the flowers in my garden, radiating beauty and compassion as we walk this path of faith together. With tears of joy glistening in her eyes, she opened her gaze to meet those of her neighbors, friends, family, and countless hearts touched by love. This heartwarming story compels us to reflect on our struggles. Sometimes we feel trapped in our own storms, lost in our doubts. But just like the grand tree in the village, we have the capacity to stand tall, find strength in our faith, and reach out in love to others. If you enjoyed this narrative, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Your engagement means the world, enabling us to spread these messages of hope and love further. We invite you to join our community, where every message is crafted to lift your spirit and fill your heart with God's light. See you in the next video. Until then, may your faith be strengthened in every prayer, and may God's love shine upon your life.